Death is like the wind, always by my side.
Hasagi! Aserio! Soriegaton!
Hi guys, it's Legendarma TV. It's good to see you again. Today we are going to break down Danah, the new character that just arrived to global servers. As per usual, in any character guide, we're gonna look into her combos, her skill lists, the defense mechanisms, and much more. Please enjoy, and I hope this guide will be useful for you. Let's go. And as per usual, we are starting with the skill lists of Danah. Be advised that every new character has very low speed, and most of the combos and their endings, finishers, do unlock later in the game. So don't judge Danah right away, and because you're definitely gonna see that she's very slow and very limited on the attacks and skills, so it might feel like she's very boring. Once you get to level 50 or 60, where you're gonna gain some additional speed and unlock all the skills, you will see that this character is actually very fun. So, the first skill is Active Penitent Slash. This is an SP skill. Whenever you activate it, she does a slash. It does a lot of damage, it recovers mana, and a very important note for every active skills and some other skills is that whenever you do them, you can continue with the first normal hit after that. So they do have chains into the normal combos. Next up is Final Gate Ascendance. This is a basic LLLR combo, which is 3 left clicks into a right click. Nothing much to talk about here. Next up is Final Gate Burial. Now, this is a stamina recovery tool, one of the stamina recovering tools. Whenever you are running or dashing, you can press right click and she will do this little slash and it will restore some stamina. This also links into the first normal head. Next up is Final Gate Purge, another regular combo which is left into right. Next up is Final Gate Repentance, which is LR combo. Right over here in the preview, you can see everything. Next up is Final Gate Sheathed, which is a regular smash, just right click. That's about it. Next skill is Soul Barrier. Now, this is quite interesting. So, Soul Barrier is your regular block. So, whenever you press space, she will put a wind shield right there that allows her to block the attacks. It also can be chained into the second normal attack or into Soul Tracer, which is going to be your tab that gives you iframes. So, this is going to be used pretty often, but this is not the most important thing that Danah has. What is the most important is the Soul Tracer. This is an amazing gap closer and initiation tool. So press tab to launch a projectile. If you press tab again, you will teleport to the projectile. This is called Soul Shift. It costs mana and gives you iframes. But you can also, whenever you're going to use tab for the first time, you can initiate a right click after that, and this will be a Soul Strike, which teleport Danah to the target and do a slash after that. This will also cost MP and give you iframes during the teleportation and during the strike. If you successfully hit with the right click, with the Soul Strike, it will put it on the 7-second cooldown. So you'll have to pay attention whenever this is gonna go off the cooldown so you can use it all the time. You can use Soul Tracer during the idle position or Spirited Dash running or after a successful block from the Soul Barrier. Invest into this skill. This skill is one of the core things about Danah. It's very, very important. Next up is Spirited Dash. This is a regular dodge dash, so whenever you press any directional key into space, Danah will do a little dash to the direction you chose and giving her iframes. This escaping tool is going to be used pretty often with this character, so invest into it. Next up is Fickle Fate. So Fickle Fate is a continuation of the Soul Strike. So whenever you are gonna use tab to send the projectile and use R after that to do the Soul Strike, you can press right click once again to initiate a additional attack after that. This will also give you iframes, so the Soul Shift, the Soul Strike, and the Fickle Fate, all three of them is going to give you a very prolonged iframes, so you will be invulnerable to any attacks during this chain. Also, a note, the Fickle Fate, which is the last additional attack, the second R, recovers stamina, and it will also put it on 7 seconds cooldown. So whenever you're going to do the Soul Strike and Fickle Fate, this will recover over time. So you won't be able to use that for 7 seconds. Next up is Active Mourning. Asagi! Yeah, well, I'll just put it the sound effects in the video here.
Asagi!
This is really awesome. So this is an active skill. She sends a massive tornado forward, damaging enemies, launching them, and recovers a lot of MP. So to send this tornado, you simply just click on the active skill. You can also charge this active skill, however, I don't really see any use of that. It doesn't really increase any damage or increases the travel of the tornado, so yeah. This is just an SP skill that you want to use off the cooldown, and it also chains into a first normal hit. Next up is Active Purify Evil. So you use this SP skill. She does a slash. You can also chain it into 2 additional attacks whenever you're gonna use right click. Right over here, you can see it. It might seem like this gives you iframes. It doesn't, so be advised. However, all of the attacks in the Purify Evil recovers a lot of stamina, so this is going to be very useful for you. It also recovers mana and chains into the first normal, just like every active skill. This is really awesome. Invest pretty much in every active skills. They are worth it. Next up is Final Gate Unleashed. Another regular combo, which is 3 left clicks into 2 right clicks. Nothing much to talk about here. It's basically a upgraded version of a one of the first final gates. So invest into it. Final Gate Vanquisher. Same thing here. Left, right, right. Regular combo. Nothing much to talk about here. All the Final Gate combos are quite important, I would say, even though they're not the most important. One of the most important things is the next thing, which is called Curse Breaker. So Curse Breaker allows you to use Soul Shift during combos. However, it also eats MP, and this is going to be one of the most frequent things that you will be using, and one of the main things that will burn your mana bar. So whenever you are using one of the combos, which can only be used after Purge, Vanquisher, Ascendance, and Unleashed Final Gates, so left, right, 3 lefts, right, 3 lefts, 2 rights, and 2 lefts, 2 right clicks, you will use a Soul Shift whenever you're going to press tab during these combos, and it will end up with a powerful strike. This strike deals a lot of damage, and you can loop your combos with a Curse Breaker. So this is one of the most important skills to learn and to max out. Make sure this is going to be a bread and butter for Danah, so invest into it ASAP. Next up is Active Ritual of Ending. This skill is a heavy SP skill, it costs a lot of SP, it gives you iframes throughout the whole animation, and it does massive damage, like obliterating every boss on your way while you're gonna be leveling. This is such a hard hitter, it's insane. It also recovers mana whenever you're gonna use that, and you can, as all of the active skills, you can link it into the first normal attacks. And finally, Active Great Beyond. This is the regular hold move that Danah has, very, very awesome looking. I mean, all the animations that Danah has are pretty top-notch, I would say 10 out of 10, really aesthetically pleasing and accurate. So the hold move that allows you to hold the bosses gives you true iframes during the animation. I'm not quite sure if it recovers mana, but I think it should be. And that's about it for the skills, guys. As I said, invest into the Curse Breaker, the Soul Tracer, of course, and the active skills, plus the final gates. So pretty much like every skill is quite important on this character whenever you're going to be leveling. If we're talking about the training tab here, I would invest a little bit into the Intelligence Mastery so you can get more magic attack at the end game. The Battle Respiration is quite important. Stamina Mastery will be very useful. Standing Endurance at rank 9 so you can get up faster. HP Potion Proficiency and Life Flare for more sustain. Equipment, of course, to equip better equipment, to be stronger, right? As for the path, I chose Dark Knight. It's a endless question here for everyone, whether you should go Dark Knight or Paladin. It doesn't really matter. However, I think that Dark Knight is more offensive-wise, so it's better to go Dark Knight, but honestly, there is not much difference between them. And finally, to choose between Impact or Fervor, I say it for every character, go Fervor. Whenever you're gonna trance, getting extra 1600 additional damage at the max skill is gonna be an insane boost of damage for you during the transformation. And that's about it for the skills. Now that we learned the skills of Danah, let's talk about her exclusive resource, which is mana. Just like Arisha and Ira, Danah has access to Mana Bar, and it serves her both in defense and offense. So, to spend your mana, you can use Soul Shift, Soul Strike, and Curse Breaker. These three things will burn your Mana Bar. So, let's do it here real quick. Let's use the Shift. The Soul Shift. So whenever you throw a projectile and tab again to teleport, this will spend mana. Or if you send the projectile and then right-click after that, this will also spend some mana, which is the Soul Strike, and the Curse Breaker. So whenever you're going to be using regular combos, chaining them into the Curse Breaker, doing that massive strike at the end, this will also spend some mana whenever you're going to use the tab. So these three things, only these three things, will burn your mana bar. So we have a pretty logical question after that. How do you gain mana? This is pretty simple. You gain mana using regular combos. So any final gates that you'll be using restores different portions of mana, as you can see right over here. And also using active skills. Each active skill restores different types of mana as well. So honestly, you won't have much problems managing your mana bar, but you have to make sure that you always have some mana to spare, because using Curse Breaker is going to be one of the main things that you're going to be evading the attacks. And of course the Soul Strike whenever you need some extra iframes. So this, both on offense and defense, mana is going to be very, very important. So once again, to spend mana, you use Soul Shift, Soul Strike, and Curse Breaker, and to gain mana, you use regular combos and active skills. As simple as that. Alright, so moving on to the combos. This is going to be pretty easy and pretty quick. Regular final gate combos that you're going to be doing, so any amounts of left clicks into right clicks, are going to be your regular combos. However, whenever you're going to use the Fickle Fate, which is tab, if you remember, into Soul Strike, right click, and into another right click, This is one of the combos. This gives you iframes, as I said, during the Soul Strike and the Fickle Fate. It also puts it on cooldown, so you'll have to manage and pay attention whenever it's off the cooldown. Also, after you use a successful block, this will prompt you to use tab again that you can chain into the Soul Strike and Fickle Fate. So Soul Strike and Fickle Fate you can do two different ways. You either send the projectile as it is and then 2 right clicks after that, or you block an attack and then tab to Soul Shift and then 2 right clicks after that to use the respective Soul Strike and the Fickle Fate again. Whenever you're going to use Active Purify Evil, whenever you use the skill, 1 right click and another right click, you can delay in between them if you want to. This is another combo right over here. Remember that it restores a lot of stamina, so this is going to be an active skill that you'll be using pretty often as well. But if we just talk about the optimal combo, this is going to require us to use Curse Breaker during our combos. So, and the best combo that I went up with, and after watching some of the videos, is 2 left clicks into 2 right clicks into the Curse Breaker, which is tab, and you can loop it. So you just continue doing so, you then Soul Shift using the tab, and you just continue doing that. This is going to net you the most damage, pretty much. Aside from whenever the Soul Strike is not on cooldown, you definitely want to either just tab RR or block tab RR after that. So this is going to be the optimal combo, both for the offense and defense. The Soul Breaker does a lot of damage, and the fact that it allows you to loop it is really awesome. So you can just dance around the boss and just chain looping your Curse Breakers doing this combo. Once again, 2 left clicks into 2 right clicks into tab, and you can just loop it. As long as you have mana, because Curse Breaker spends a lot of mana right here. So chaining, you're just going to be mixing your optimal combo into the either block into tab into 2 right clicks, or just tab into right clicks, which is the Soul Strike into the Fickle Fate, and using the active skills in between. That's about it. Moving on to the defense. And this is very important, right? Because we don't want to die. And Danah has a lot of defense skills that she can use. First of all, and the most obvious one, is the block. The block window is pretty forgiving, so you just need a little bit of practice to make sure that you time it pretty well. Whenever you're going to use the Soul Shift, so whenever you're teleporting, this gives you iframes whenever you're traveling to the projectile. Also, the Soul Strike, which is the right click after you use tab right over here. Let's just build quickly some MP right here. So every time you use tab into R, into the Soul Strike, and then into the Fickle Fate, both of these attacks give you iframes. So you will be pretty much like parrying the attacks during this. This is probably the longest chain you can do whenever Soul Strike is not on cooldown. So you travel, you have iframes, and then you do first right click, you have iframes, and the second right click, you have the iframes. Also, the Curse Breaker, obviously. So every time you're teleporting with the Soul Breaker, you're gonna gain iframes during the teleportation. And of course, the regular dash. God damn it, dash dodging. So just spamming the dash will be pretty useful. You'll be using that quite often. Ritual of Ending and Great Beyond. So the heavy hitter skill that we have, this one, and the hold move will give you true iframes. So her defense kit is pretty solid. As I said again, whenever you're teleporting, you have iframes, or using Soul Strike into Fickle Fate. All these have iframes. So and this one, throughout the whole animation of Ritual of Ending, you will have iframes. Her skills for defense are pretty straightforward and pretty easy to execute. Moving on to the mobility. So using regular dashes is probably going to be the most thing you're going to be using for the mobility. However, you can also animation cancel the dash with the right click at the end, which, if I remember correctly, this is supposed to be the burial, the final gate burial. So it also restores some stamina as well. So whenever you're going to be running through the dungeons, this is going to be quite useful because you're going to be hitting all the enemies, and you can retain your mobility during that. So every time you use tab into tab, which is the soul shift, this is a pretty cool mobility tool as well, or after you use a successful block, right? And if the boss hits you into the block, right? And he moved, or like, let's say he shifted to the other side, after a successful block, you can prompt another tab, so you can gap close and get to the boss really quickly. So the mobility is pretty decent. It's not like over the top, to be honest. This is not Tessa, unfortunately, but she still has pretty decent mobility right here. Next up is stamina management. So this is going to be really easy right here. There's only 3 things that restore stamina for Danah. So either dash R, so if we just spend a little bit of stamina right here, you can see that she recovers some portion of it every time you use that. The Fickle Fate also restores stamina as well, so the second right click after your Soul Strike. And the Purify Evil. Every time, whenever you're going to hit the active skill, it restores stamina, and all the additional attacks, additional right clicks that you're going to do will also restore the stamina. Honestly, whenever I was leveling, I didn't really have a lot of stamina issues, and in the raids, you shouldn't really have. These 3 things should be enough to never run out of stamina on Danah, so don't worry about it. Moving on to the artifacts. As you remember, Greater Succubus Fang, Greater Mysterious Cat Statue, and the Greater Werewolf Paw are the 3 artifacts that people usually choose from. The Succubus Fang is the best for the new players, completely new to the game and the combat, so you can have some extra sustain in regular raids or redeemers. The cat statue restores SP, however, it's not really that useful on Danah because she generates a lot of SP anyway. The best artifact, I must say, is the Greater Werewolf Paw. Every time you're gonna pop it up, you will gain a huge boost of speed, which will allow you to do your optimal combos faster and react faster with the defense and offense, building SP, mana, and so on. So I recommend to go Greater Werewolf Paw. This is going to be the best artifact for Danah in the long run. And finally, the Awakenings. So if you remember, Awakenings do increase your overall damage potential by a lot. So you want to put damage Awakening Stones into your skills, either 8% for cheap or 10% to gain more edge. Most of the active skills have either damage Waking Stone or reduce SP consumption. And here I honestly think that going damage on everything that you can is probably the best. However, reducing some SP or cooldown on morning, active morning, can be useful as well if you're in tight situations. But I think, like, if we just follow the main road, and it's been like that for every new character, you just literally want to add increased damage Waking Stone to every skill that you have, because you're going to be using every skill in the kit for the character. So might as well just do all damage right over here. And that's it for today, covering Danah, the 19th hero of Vindictus. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this character. This character is really awesome. And should you have any questions or additional info, please leave it in the comments section below. It will be useful for everyone else. Thank you so much for watching. This was Legendarma TV. Please subscribe to YouTube channel, join my Discord, stop by Twitch. I love you all 3000, please be safe, and I see you next time.